This is the path I'm on. I want this to be your journey too. 1,000 days of fitness. What better way to celebrate than working out right here in Port St. Louis, Central Coast, California. Working out on the ocean. What a monumental milestone. The message I have for you applies directly to your life. So hang out for a few minutes. If you feel that there is a better version of you closer around the corner, maybe you can't quite get there. Maybe you're struggling with alcohol like I was, addiction, some sort of vice to get over. I've got a message that I believe is really valuable. Today is 1,000 days since what I would consider the most important day of my life. 1,000 days ago, I decided to step into the gym and change everything. That was the beginning of the upward trajectory that I think we all need in our lives. Now, you know, I'm not breaking the Instagram algorithm. I'll show you some before and afters here in a minute. The important part of this message is that once you make the decision to get yourself fit, everything else in life is going to start falling into place. You will gain the tools, the skills, the strengths to start making everything else happen in your life that you know you need to. Now first, hey, why not? I'm just going to do a little bit of flexing here just because, why not? I'll flash up some before pictures. You know, I'm not out trying to model or be a physique best, but let me tell you part of what I think people have totally wrong about fitness and the gym. The real big win isn't saying, I've got to put on this much muscle in this much time, I've got to lift this much weight, I've got to do this or that within this amount of time, or chasing the result. The habits are what is so terribly important. For me, I was in there 7 days a week for a while, not knowing what I was doing, overdoing it, hurt myself a few times. Now I'm in there 6 days a week, but the habits will change everything else in your life. As you develop those habits, you start to just get used to winning. You're going to get up and go to the gym. You're not going to miss your days. Then you start eating better. It took me almost 2 years after the first day I stepped into the gym before the last drink of alcohol I took. It was very important for me to start that path of fitness to lead to that sobriety. And now today, I'm not where I want to be yet with my fitness. I don't think I ever will be. I think I'm happily dissatisfied. There's definitely, something I'm still working on now before I get to the next phase. At the moment, I'm still really working on trimming down and leaning out a little bit in a very healthy and steady route. And right now, this stuff right here, I want to get rid of just a little bit more of that on my back. Maybe it seems vain, but to me, it's like I've already learned how to do this. It feels so good. All I'm doing is just eating protein, fasting. I'm not eating breads or flours at all. I'm not eating fried foods. The feeling you get, not just from, generally being healthy, just your body feeling good. When I walk by and see my reflection sometimes, I'm like, oh, wow, look at that, dude. I never got to feel that when I was drinking all the time. I never got to feel that when I was filling my face with pizza and beer, when I was sitting down playing video games all the time. And the crazy thing about this journey, you start getting in the gym, then you start eating a little better, and then you put down the drink. And next thing I know, I didn't even know that I wanted to stop smoking pot. And I realized, well, this is the journey that I'm on. This is the path that I'm on. This is how I'm going to help influence people in a positive way. And I ended up stopping smoking weed as well. And as a result of all these things, the rest of life is starting to fall into place in ways that no matter how hard I tried, no matter how much I pursued these outcomes, they weren't happening. And here's the trick. The thing is, it's not about getting the physique, getting the job, getting the money, getting the girl. It's about developing the individual that you admire the most within yourself. That individual is going to attract everything else to them. And so it's through those consistent daily habits, it's through the wins that you get in really developing the self-belief from doing hard things consistently that will give you the self-belief and the courage to start pursuing bigger and greater things. It's little wins, little bits at a time that add up and compound over time. At the beginning of this journey, I had stacked some really big losses in life. I spent 9 years building a business. Some things that were out of my control happened, and I decided to just go ahead and pack it up and head off to the ski slopes and, rebuild my credit while I was living a fun life. While I was out there, I ended up getting married. I was married for almost 5 years. Didn't work out. I ended up losing my life in the mountains that I'd been building. I ended up losing my relationship, which at this point I'm really grateful that didn't work out. But I had gone from this kid who had no limitations, who used to do, in 2003 I had this big 1000cc V-twin motorcycle. Bike life wasn't a thing, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to start stunt riding. Next thing you know, I'm hanging out with the world champion stunt rider. They even put me in a DVD, just a few shots, nothing big. I wasn't that great, but I was really doing the thing. I am not the guy that should have made it through university, but I did because I started and I believed in myself. Even though it was 3 times harder for me than anybody else, it was the wrong place for me, but I did it. And then I had stacked some really big losses with the business. I broke my ankle in 7 places. I went out to the mountains to get really good at snowboarding and, promptly got hurt really bad. And still produced some snowboarding videos, got on the local TV, but at that point, after the failure of the business, after the injury, and not being able to do physically what I wanted to do, and then after marrying a woman and getting divorced, I was just defeated. I was drinking. I was trying to escape a life that I didn't really want to be involved in. And no matter how hard I tried to stop drinking, it wasn't happening. It wasn't going to happen. I had to start my momentum somehow. And it was the gym that set me free. So whether it's the gym itself or just some form of intense physical fitness in general, I wholeheartedly believe that for many of us, that is the very first step to everything else that you will need to succeed in life. So it started with developing self-belief from the gym. Then I had this crazy vision that I needed to get a long way away from everything I knew and put myself into an uncomfortable situation to get everything worked out. So I've got this really cool vehicle, and I've had a vision for it for years. It was a diplomat's vehicle in the presidential motorcade. I took that and turned it into a 4-wheel drive camper, 4x4 tiny home, and I said by this date, I'm going to head west, no matter how much money or how little money I have, no matter how uncomfortable things are, no matter if I have a job or not, and I'm just leaving. And that's exactly what I did. I had $700, barely enough to make it out to the coast, ended up taking a job I hated, but I did what I had to do. The transmission went out just after I got out here. I didn't have any money. I just put in a new engine. I don't know how I got through it. But the thing is, the gym was what gave me the strength to take the risk. The gym was the thing that gave me the self-belief to get started. And instead of being a fat, drunk, divorced guy trying to figure things out in his parents' basement, I'm out here on the West Coast now, building a future on the YouTube, helping people, maybe everyone, but I feel like specifically divorced men to get sober and fit. I want to bring good vibes into the world, though, whatever direction this leads. My YouTube channel is growing. My freelance career is growing. I'm out here doing exactly what I wanted to do with my life. And I started with, thank goodness I had that vehicle, because it has been an avenue to get me going. But, without having stepped into the gym, I don't think any of the rest of this would have been possible. I think I would be stuck. I would be stagnant. I would be broke. I would be defeated. I'd still be drinking. For several of us, I think it's of the utmost dire importance that we make a commitment to ourselves, and that commitment heavily relies on physical fitness. Once you make that deep commitment to yourself, once you start doing, whether it's yoga, whether it's cycling, whether you're playing basketball 6 days a week, whatever it is, to where you're pushing yourself, to the limits on an intense level consistently, and you don't bail out, you don't back down, you keep subjecting yourself to voluntary discomfort. And over time, you're going to start realizing, hey, I am pretty badass. I am pretty tough. Most people can't do this. Most people won't do this. And one thing leads to another, and you take one little win and you turn into a few more, and then you start getting better habits, then you start getting up earlier. Pretty soon you realize that your time, your energy, your emotions, they're so much more valuable than we initially recognized. Now, I don't even want to spend time with anybody because there's very few people that have the ambition I do. And someday, yes, I'm going to belong at the table with a bunch of ambitious, successful people. And I know I'll be around a lot more people then. But right now, I'm riding solo happily. I've been celibate for quite a while, happily. I have been going on my own, and I know that what I'm doing is I'm building the individual that will bring everything that they deserve in life to them through attraction, through the universe, through good vibes, through caring about others, through loving myself enough that I can love others. And it's a virtuous circle, and every bit of it starts with the gym, and it's impossible to get to this point if you're not sober as well. I truly, wholeheartedly believe that. I believe that the gym and sobriety are the keys to everything else. Once you have those two unlocked, then you start having that self-belief. Then you can start doing anything you want. I'm getting to the point now where, at one time I couldn't imagine making anything happen. Where's the path? Who's going to lead me there? Who do I beg to sell my hours for dollars to? And now I'm like, man, I don't want to work for anybody but myself ever again. That's one of my biggest goals. If you've been following my channel, the theme is adventure, fitness, and freedom. Those are the most important things for me in my life, and the thing I want to do as I develop myself is I want to help other people get sober, get fit, and find the truest, most authentic version of themselves and pursue that path relentlessly. The real message is commit to yourself. Be selfish. Make the very best version of yourself. If you do that in a selfish manner, it is one of the most selfless acts you can possibly imagine, because as you develop that person, you will become so much better for anyone and everyone and everything in your entire life. But you have to stay committed to yourself. You have to understand that physical fitness in the gym, that's not something you can put off when it gets a little inconvenient. You have to make your life around it. It has to be more important than money. It has to be more important than everything other than oxygen and water. Sobriety is the same thing. You can't take time off. You can't just be sober during the week and not on the weekends. I learned that lesson the hard way. There is no such thing as going back to being a normal drinker. Once you pass the point of no return, once you've developed that habit for years and years, that habit's stuck with you. You got to quit for good. Guys, I want you to come along on this journey with me. I want you to raise up with me. I want to bring you up with me. I love all of you so much. Thank you for coming along. Thank you for sharing this journey with me. Again, this is just the very beginning. This is the path I'm on. I want this to be your journey too.
Yeah. New beginnings on the cusp. Not too old to adjust. Old dog, new tricks. Remember, I was just a pup. Something dirty in my cup. Clean soul, good karma is a must. Still my shooter in the cut. I was stuck inside a rut. Played the game, made bank, moved G. Anything to get a buck. You won't find me in the club. I'm in the lab trying to sharpen up the sword, swinging blades at these scrubs. Flock like bugs to the light, getting right. Treat my hoes like these raps. I don't really got a type. Off top bullshit. All I needed was a mic. Yeah. Hey, pass the rock, it's all butter. Pack your bags and take flight. Don't worry, it's all covered. Hey, live your life while you can. Our days are all numbered. Rain could cause thunder, but the sun comes after, clearing up the disaster.
Isn't it lovely? I ain't looking back, I'm focused on what's in front of me. Everybody day's a number, but I'm still here luckily. I know that God got me, so I'm in good company. Yeah.
There we go. 1,000 days of fitness in the books. Does this change anything? Not at all. I've been working all day. I've got more work to get done tonight. Tomorrow's legs day in the gym. Guarantee I'll be there. Nutrition will stay exactly the same. I am going to dial the fasting back from 7 days a week to 4 or 5 days a week. I'm still going to have about the same amount of calories though. Nothing is really changing at all, except for the fact that I have earned another big win. Now, why does this matter to you? Well, the point I want to make is that you can change the entire direction of your life with a single decision, a single moment. Now, it takes commitment, it takes consistency, it takes discipline. But you can literally change the entire trajectory of your life with a single decision in a single moment. I would love to be the influence that inspired you to make that decision today. So thanks for sharing this journey with me, guys. Love you. Take care.
Breathe in, breathe out. Hey, come alive. Breathe in.